Ni mwaka sasa tokea Makanika, kamanda wa waasi wa M23, kuuawa kwenye shamba la vita mnamo tarehe 19 Februari mwaka 2025 kwa shambulio dhidi ya jeshi la taifa la DRC. Kwa kumbukizi ya kamanda huyo, jamii ya Kinyamulenge nchini Marekani wamekusanyika mjini Dayton, Ohio, na kuwaalika watu tofauti wa kiserikali mahalia na kutoa maneno mengi kwa madai ya uonevu wanaofanyiwa katika nchi ya Kongo. Na mwanamama ndio alishika mpini. Hebu tumsikilize.
My name is Adele Kibasumba. I speak Kinyamulenge fluently or Kinyarwanda fluently, but I am intentionally speaking English in a very big gathering of a Banyamulenge community here in the Dayton, Ohio, because many of the stories that you are hearing, many of them, 99% of them know about it. But we do have some friends. I see some faces of Americans who are new to this gathering and would like to hear straight from English to English. I know you guys took a great time of your life just like to sit here morning until evening to hear our stories, so it's only fair that we at least do this in English once. Also, there are many Banyamulenge Congolese youth here who are not as fluent in Kinyamulenge as many of people who are sitting here, who are here. And the death of our hero, Makanika, has mobilized millennium, but mostly Gen Z, even Gen Alpha. Am I lying? And when I speak, I'm not only speaking for me, I'm speaking for many people in my generation. Many of the Banyamulenge who are in this room came here as refugees. They fled the same plot. Different time, different places, but same plot. For my generation, we survived the Gatumba massacre in 2004. This is after we had been forced to flee our homes in Uvira, cross the border to the nearest town of Gatumba in Burundi. We were housed in a UN peacekeeping camp that was tasked to protect us and our families. But after 3 months, the camp was attacked and many people lost their lives. And from there, the US decided that they needed to resettle many of the survivors to the US. And many other Banyamulenge who survived other massacres in different time, before Gatumba and after, the US really increased the numbers of the Banyamulenge to resettle in the US because it is a community that is targeted in the DRC. And so we are here. Fast forward in 2019, most people here were just minding their business, building their families. When again, the targeting of Banyamulenge who were remaining in the whole plateau, this is in the outskirts of Uvira mountains. This is originally where the Banyamulenge come from, were being targeted again. And so this is where my life begins with the Lieutenant General Lukunda Makanika. We are different in age, but same struggle. He was a colonel in the government forces. I was here as a mother with my second born child. I was a nurse. Like many of people here were also doing the same thing. Like how Michelle was in a different province serving the country. And so when the targeting happened in the whole plateau, there was no gathering like this. There was no meeting, there's no strategic meeting that happened. Everyone felt that they needed to do something. For him, he left the military and went to defend the people. That's what he knows. And for us, what did we have? Some income. So we need to organize to be with people who are being targeted in the DRC. At that time, I was leading the community organization. And so we needed to organize and help people in a humanitarian way. And when he arrived there, it was not a direct, I guess, link. Ntabwo twakoranye ngo tuhuze umugambi. Yagiye yitumye kubera ko umutima wa mutumye gutabara. N'abanyamurenge bari muri diaspora nabo barebye uko babigenza. Niho twakomeje umugambi wo kwigwanaho nkuko ababyeyi bacu mbere batubwiye mu mateka. So this is the third generation yo kwigwanaho. And so niyo mpamvu navuze ngo reka tubwire fourth and the fifth generation yo kwigwanaho mu Cyongereza. Abantu bazaba bafite uburyo bwo kwigana ico gihe ariko tugomba kubabwira amateka. And so nagiriwe umugisha mwinshi wo kuba muri generation yo kwigwanaho. Iyi ntwari muri ico gihe nayo ihagurutse kuvuga ngo igwane ku bwoko. Ukuntu yagiye, ukuntu yoganizinze abasore kugira ngo bagwane ku babyeyi, uriya mwuka wiwe, spirit ya Makanika, his name is not Makanika. Because Michelle Rukunda, and alias is Makanika. It really means he's a mechanic. It means mechanic, and then in Kinyamulenge we kind of twisted said Makanika. As you said, he went empty-handed. He did not take anything from the armed forces. He just said, I could not stand this. I could not sit here, get paid, having a colonel in the armed forces, while my parents, my aunts, my nephews being killed. And so when he got there, he became a mechanic to engineer the youth, organize them to say, before they could kill your wife, you have to defend them first. And so, like the previous speakers had said in the previous sessions, all the armed groups in the region formed an alliance against us, against Banyamulenge, and they were all supported by the government. And we are the minority, mind you. And you have all the other tribes mounting an alliance based on identity to exterminate one minority group. And that is still the situation today. He really organized and made sure people were protected. Even in that situation, he never fought against the government. He only wanted to protect his loved ones. The armed forces were in Minembwe. He was in the outskirts fending off the militias. But many times, like we said, the armed forces supported the militias by giving them tactical gears, training, ammunition to attack us. But he still maintained that this is solely a self-defense. If the government were to protect Banyamulenge, we would never ever attack the government. Until the day he died, they struck and they killed him by drone. And that's when the Tutapigana self-defense said, enough is enough. You had killed our leader. That mean, and this is after 5 years of self-defense, vowing not to touch the government, still waiting for the government to change its mind and protect everyone. And that's when they allied themselves with the M23 because they were abandoned. And M23 is a Tutsi group, like Banyamulenge from North Kivu. They are also trying to protect their families that were chased out of the country.
Baada ya malalamiko hayo mbele ya umati wa jamii yao na mbele ya wageni waalikwa kutokea serikali mahalia, mama aliendelea kutoa hamasa kwa wanajamii wenzake waliokuwepo pale na walioko nje, kwa maana duniani kote, kwamba wataendelea na msimamo ule ule uliopelekea umauti wa Makanika hadi dakika za mwisho, na kuhakikishia wanajamii wa kabila lao walioko Minembwe kama wapo na wataendelea kuwa pamoja nao.
Abana bafite nk'imyaka 8, 9, 10 no kugeza no ku 13 nine gutyo. Abo rero nibo ba Makanika bazaza. So yagiye, so dugomba gutangira gukomeza kubaka legacy yiwe. And so mbere ntaratangira kuvuga mu Kinyamulenge, reka nsabe famille ya General Rukunda Makanika mu zubahiro byanyu tubahaye pole. Abari hano nabari ahandi hose, hari abarimo kudukurikira online already, babizi tubahaye pole. Hari abarimo batwandikira tubahaye pole kandi turi kumwe namwe. Hari indi famille ya General itari hano, iri ruguru, iyo ni Twigwaneho. Abo nibo bana biwe nyuma ya famille yanyu munsi yanyu. Abo nabo ntabwo turi kumwe nabo hano, aho muri mu kazi murimwo turabakunda, turabubaha, turi kumwe namwe geza ku mutonyi wa nyuma. Kwigwanaho n'ubuzima. Murakoze cyane.
Hii ni The Jofa Media. Asante kwa kutufuatilia.